CityLab, which is a website linked to The Atlantic, crunched some numbers about housing, and take a look at this. Rent is affordable to low-wage workers in exactly 12 U.S. counties. Only 12 counties rent is affordable to low-wage workers. So here's what it says there. 2017 hours at minimum wage needed to afford a one-bedroom rental home by county or metro area. I don't know if you guys can see that small font, so I'll read it to you. In only 12 counties can a full-time worker earning the prevailing federal or state minimum wage afford a one-bedroom rental home at the fair market rent without paying more than 30% of their income. Only 0.1% of renter households reside in these areas. 76.4% of renter households reside in a county or metro area where a minimum wage worker must work more than 60 hours per week. So if you make minimum wage, there's only 12 counties. See the yellow on the map there? That's it. Only in those places, if you work minimum wage, can you afford a one-bedroom home. That's mental. Yeah. This is what the Democrats need to focus on. This is what they need to build campaigns around. This is what they have to try to fix. But they're not going all in on that. Why? Because they have corporate donors as well. The Republicans are totally drenched in corporate money. We all know that. But a lot of the Democrats take corporate money too. And if you're pushing for a living wage 24/7, you're going to piss off your donor base. Because your donor base are the corporations who are that's the one group that do not want to see the minimum wage become a living wage. Even a majority of Republicans want to see the minimum wage become a living wage. So 80% of the country wants to see that happen, wants to raise the minimum wage. But you don't have the Democrats going all in and doing a full court press trying to get it because they're also beholden to corporate donors. Guys, this is abysmal. The year is 2017 and the minimum wage is not a living wage. And by the way, what happens as a result of this? Guess what? Somebody's got to make up the difference. Somebody's got to make up the difference. So these people end up going to government programs to get the assistance they need in order to get by. Who pays for it when you go to a government program? The taxpayers, as opposed to the corporations. So if you raise the minimum wage to a living wage, you're making the corporations pay people a living wage and pay them their fair share. But if you keep the minimum wage low, then people have to go to the government to make up the difference so they can survive, which means the burden is shifted onto the taxpayers. So if you were to raise the minimum wage, the taxpayers also save money because you don't need those government programs nearly as much as you did before. So it's a trick that corporations do. They shift the burden onto middle-class taxpayers when they should be paying people a living wage. And we've discussed it before, but if the minimum wage simply kept up with inflation from 1968, it would be over $10 an hour today, which means that somebody on minimum wage today is making less than they made in 1968. That's what that means. If it kept up with productivity, it'd be over $20 an hour. If it kept up with earnings of the top 1%, it'd be over $21 an hour. So people are artificially underpaid because the system is rigged against middle-class people and against poor people. And now in the United States, if you work minimum wage, you can only afford a one-bedroom home in 12 counties. Think about how abysmal that is. This is the definition of a rigged system. Meanwhile, one family, the Walton family, the Walmart heirs, they didn't do the work and set it up and they're the successful ones. They're the ones who are getting it passed down to them. But they have more than 40% of the American people. One family, the Walton family, has more wealth than 40% of the American people combined. People can't even afford to get a place to stay if they're on minimum wage. This is a rigged system. Money has corrupted our politics. We have to get money out of the system. We have to get a living wage. We have to get free college. We have to get Medicare for all. These are all basic things that would make the U.S. catch up to other modern nations. We should go 100% down that path right now. JusticeDemocrats.com, by the way. our candidates are for all the right things. Go read our platform. That's what our candidates are going to fight for. And as I've explained to you guys before, our candidates take no corporate money and no PAC money, so they're at a permanent financial disadvantage unless you guys help us and make up the difference. So go to justicedemocrats.com/donate to try to take out corporate Joe Manchin, to try to take out corrupt Joe Crowley. These are the most corporate of the corporate Democrats. We're running against them. So come be part of the revolution. Come help us out and take that next step. justicedemocrats.com/donate. We have to go after it together, and we have to fix this situation because this is unacceptable, and nobody's talking about it either. But Justice Democrats are going to be there to do exactly that.